Australian men are getting screwed in every way except the way they'd really like. Sex has become such a battleground, we're absolutely weaponised against men. Women are taught to see themselves victims, cowering from dangerous men. In New South Wales at the moment, the sex most people have most of the time is now illegal. We have affirmative consent laws, which means that if you've been married for 20 years, it is illegal for you to make love to your wife without checking every inch of the way for affirmative consent. Can I nibble your ear, dear? May I pull down your trousers? We don't do that in our normal relationship. And yet zealots have marched into our bedrooms wearing jackboots and declared that is how we should behave. What we're seeing in Australia now, our sexual consent is being taught in all our schools, teaching girls that boys are all potential predators. And as a result of that, we've seen a huge spike in sexual assault cases flooding into our courts. Think about what happens to a man who's been accused of this sort of a crime. He's publicly named and shamed. They lose their careers, their reputations, their friends. Their families often spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to defend these cases. We've got people in this room today whose loved ones have been through this sort of dreadful ordeal or who've been through it themselves. And every week I hear from dozens of these people and it breaks my heart. We're in the grip of a moral panic, an orchestrated campaign to create hysteria about women not being safe. And it's absolutely a feminist campaign. It's part of a long-running attack on male sexuality. The 19th century suffragettes had a slogan, "Votes for women, chastity for men." I mean, think about that craziness. Sexual assault and domestic violence are the twin pillars of the feminist crusade to destroy men. There's very good reason why domestic violence is such a powerful lobbying tool for the feminist movement. Protecting women from dangerous men is vital. We'd all agree with that. It's an absolute motherhood issue. And we're all prepared to do what it takes to make this happen. But feminists are grossly misrepresenting the real risks here. When most people think of domestic violence, they're usually thinking about physical abuse. And yet our official ABS statistics show that 0.6 of women were physically abused by their cohabiting partner or ex-partner in 2021-22. That's the most recent data. That figure you won't see if you just browse through the statistics because it's buried in a table, of course, and never promoted. But it's blessedly small. And what we hear all the time is we're bombarded with these huge numbers which come from expanding the envelope to include emotional abuse, financial abuse, even threats of abuse. Saying there's an epidemic of domestic violence in this country is a gross deception and an utter insult to the bulk of decent, safe Australian men.